very impressive. It's nice to see everything being built in the U.S. You know, it's neat, and it's nice to know there's not a long lead time on getting stuff.
So there needs to be troubleshooting and there needs to be optimization, and that's where all of you come in. We know that sharing knowledge is critical. We're listening to you. That's why we innovate and why we're obligated to innovate, really, is to take your feedback, do something with it.
But what we're going to do is we're going to introduce air into this system and show you the before and after effects of what happens when you have air in the system. If we look up here at Water Expert, you guys can see that we're watching permeate flow. If we look at that permeate flow, it does what we like to see. It just spikes up a little bit, and then it finds that flow, and it just is a stable, straight line.
About 6 months into it, we ended up problem after problem after problem. With all the lift stations, all the grinder pumps, our screenings were just passing through the original fine screen that we had. This is what we were getting out of there, the screening now. It's working really well. We're really pleased with it.
We've decreased our CIP by 5 times. They went from 16 cleans to 3 just in the last 12 months. That was all due to what we've done. We found a unique protocol where most people may do bleaches all year and do 1 acid. These guys do a bleach. If it does not recover or sustain, they do an acid, kicks it right back up, then they start all over again with the bleach acid or acid bleach.
These Kratos cards, if you hover over it, it's saying like this is a mechanical issue, this is a membrane issue. So our guys, our engineers can help improve our process.
Yeah, this doesn't change the relationship that the tech support person has with the operator. When you call in and if you have a file that you'd like to tell us, you can give it to him, he can put it in here. That way, if he doesn't solve the problem right away, all he has to do is escalate to somebody so that way they can get on it, come back with recommendations.
Then here's the timeline we had. We struggled too with dewatering and coarse suspended solids and pore screening and clogged diffusers, and through all these things that we've struggled through, we wouldn't change any of it, right? So we're dedicated to the MBR process.
Tell you what happens if I have a communication failure that isn't related to a power outage.
Well, first, what are the indicators that I had a communication failure?
Currently, we have one under construction as our first one. It'll be the first wastewater MBR plant in the state of Kentucky. We hope to, once this is in place, to eliminate several things. You know, just the quality of the service that we've seen through the MBR system, and then sitting through some of the training and just the process where we've visited other plants before we come here. It's just sold us on the technology.
If your maintenance is hooked up to your equipment and these two are talking to each other, you can say, if my motor ramps up too hot or my level gets too high, I need to go maintain, right? So now you're starting to predict, and over time you can start to find patterns and actually start to predict behavior of your equipment.
You've identified the problem, right? So let's correct it.
This really just indicates what corrective measures you have to take.
Within my research area, which is membrane bioreactors and membrane technology generally, there is a very, very large preponderance of research into membrane surface fouling. People go mental for this stuff.
This is the golden rule, that behind every good plant, there's a good operator, a trained operator, and technician armed with good data, and that's really the focus of this workshop.
The entertainment part's always good, and the whole experience is always nice.
Some milestones over the years, and some of you have been a part of this, many of you have. After 17 years, we have 300 installations treating about 0.2 billion gallons per day of wastewater now. We have 11 of the operator workshops. We have the Knowledge Center, and then, of course, the factory. And what I'm most proud of is the team that we have that you all know, that services and supports you and our MBR systems.